Have you ever stopped to think about how massive global companies actually build and use artificial intelligence? I mean, we're not talking about a simple chatbot on a website. We're talking about really complex AI that can automate factory inspections or predict massive supply chain disruptions. It is a huge, huge challenge. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look inside one of the platforms designed to do exactly that, SAP's Business Technology Platform. Okay, so let's frame this with the big question, right? If you've got thousands of developers, countless data sources, and your operations are spread all over the globe, how in the world do you build custom AI that's standardized, secure, and actually manageable? How you avoid a complete and utter free-for-all. That is the core problem we're digging into. And the answer, at least from SAP's point of view, is this thing, the Business Technology Platform, or BTP for short. Now, look at that official definition. What's so interesting is that it doesn't just say AI. It says innovate, integrate, and transform. That breadth, that big picture thinking is really the key to understanding what makes it tick. So, to get our heads around all this, here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the big picture. What even is BTP? Then, we'll break it down into its 5 core pillars. From there, we're going to zoom right into their approach to AI, peek inside the engine, see how it all works in real world, and then finally, we'll wrap up with why any of this actually matters. All right, first up, what exactly is this platform? Because before we can even begin to talk about building fancy AI models, we really have to understand the foundation that they're built on top of. Here's the most crucial point, really. BTP is designed to be that single source of truth for a company's tech. So instead of having all these separate, clunky systems for building apps, analyzing data, and creating AI, the goal is to bring it all under one roof. It's about taming that wild complexity by putting it all in one place. Now let's break down how this platform is actually structured. We're going to look at its 5 core pillars. And this is so important because it shows you that AI doesn't just live in a vacuum. In the real world of big business, it's deeply, deeply connected to everything else that's going on. Yet the whole thing is built on these 5 interconnected components. It's a simple number, but trust me, it represents a massive amount of capability. And here they are. You've got application development, automation, integration, data and analytics, and, last but not least, artificial intelligence. See how AI is the 5th pillar? It's not the first. That's on purpose. It's powered by and totally integrated with all the others. I mean, think about it. You can't have good AI without good data, solid integrations, and well-built apps, right? Okay, time to zoom in on that 5th pillar. Now, to make sure we're all on the same page, let's just quickly define the key terms that SAP uses. This just helps us be super clear about what we mean when we throw around a word like AI. This lays it out perfectly. So at the very top, you have the big umbrella concept, artificial intelligence, basically making machines solve tasks like we do. Then a piece of that puzzle is machine learning, which is where computers learn from data instead of someone having to program every single rule. And then an even more specialized part of that is deep learning, which uses these super complex neural networks for tricky stuff like understanding images or human language. So now we've got the concepts down, but what are the actual tools a company would use to build AI on this platform? What's in the toolbox that SAP provides to get the job done? Well, it really boils down to 2 key services, and they each have a very distinct role. You've got SAP AI Core, and you've got SAP AI Launchpad. The best way to think about them is as the 2 essential parts of a complete AI system, one part to do all the heavy lifting, and another to manage and steer the whole thing. This table just breaks it down perfectly. SAP AI Core, that's the engine room. It's the powerful, behind-the-scenes guts of the operation that does the actual training and deployment of the AI models. It's built for the technical experts, the MLOps engineers. But then you have the SAP AI Launchpad. That's the central control panel. It's the clean, user-friendly dashboard where you can manage and operate all your different AI projects. And this isn't just for engineers. It's also for business analysts who need to see how the AI is performing in the real world. So, we've got the tools, we've got the engine room, and the control panel. But how does a simple idea for an AI solution actually become a working application that a business can use? Let's walk through that process. The workflow itself is actually pretty logical. It all starts with a real-world business problem, say automating product inspections on an assembly line. Then you design the AI approach, figuring out what kind of model you need. Step 3, that's where the AI core, the engine room, does its heavy lifting, training and building the model with tons of data. And finally, you deploy and serve that model, which is all managed and monitored through the AI Launchpad, making it available for your applications to actually use. Okay, so we've looked at the platform, the tools, the whole process, but let's get down to it. What's the big takeaway here? Why should we care about this super structured way of doing enterprise AI? Well, it all leads to these 4 key takeaways. First, a platform like this isn't some walled garden. It's smart enough to connect to the popular tools that data scientists already know and love. Second, and this is huge, having that central system, that AI Launchpad, is what stops the chaos. It makes managing everything simple and transparent. Third, the secret sauce that lets everything talk to each other so smoothly is standardized APIs. And finally, and this might be the most important part, this whole structure creates a clear separation of roles. The builders can stay in the engine room and focus on making amazing models, while the managers can use the control panel to oversee everything without getting lost in the code. And that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. As these powerful, integrated AI platforms become as normal in a business as email or accounting software, what happens next? What new challenges will pop up when AI is just everywhere? And maybe more exciting, what incredible new opportunities are going to be unlocked? Now that's something to think about.